Welcome to today's edition of 3 Minute Halacha. This year, when Pesach falls after Shabbat, the question arises of when we should do the Mechirat Chametz, the sale of Chametz. In typical years, we sell Chametz on Erev Pesach. This year, Erev Pesach is Shabbat. We can't enter into contracts or effectuate sales on Shabbat. And therefore, what is the proper time frame to do the Mechirat Chametz? On the one hand, there are those who want to suggest that we should follow the same procedure as in most years. B'dikat Chametz this year is on Thursday night. Biur Chametz, the burning of Chametz, is on Friday morning. We should also do the Mechirat Chametz, the sale of the Chametz, in the exact same pattern, sell it Friday morning, and before the end of the 5th hour of the day. And the reason is to follow the typical patterns. In fact, with Biur Chametz, we do it early in the day before the end of the 5th hour, not at the end of the day before Shabbat or even on Shabbat morning, because we want to maintain those patterns so that people won't make mistakes in other years. Therefore, let's sell the chametz the same way so people don't make mistakes. However, the Maharsham said that really shouldn't apply to the sale of chametz, because the rabbis are the ones who do the sale, and the rabbis aren't going to make a mistake if this year they do it differently than in typical years. And as a result, according to the Maharsham, what you're able to do is sell the chametz later into Friday, the 6th hour of the day, many use, or until the end of Friday before Shabbat itself. According to that, we have still one more problem. And that is, what about the challah that we might want to use on Shabbat for Friday night, Shabbat morning, and according to the approach of dividing the meal into two, the early Sudah Shlishit? If we sold the chametz before Shabbat, how does that work? According to the position of the Shoel Umeshiv, what we should do is make the sale before Shabbat, before the 6th hour, or even before the 5th hour, but write into the contract that the sale doesn't take effect until Shabbat morning, the 5th hour. The problem with that is, again, we don't do sales on Shabbat. And so Rabbi Akiva Eger and the Ktav Sofer were opposed to this. And yet the Sholem Eshiv said it's not a problem because the actual kinyan, all of the acts of acquisition took place before Shabbat. It just took effect on Shabbat, and there shouldn't be an issue. Practically speaking, what we do is the sale will take place as it does in a normal year, just one day early, around the same time as when you burn the chametz, not because we don't want to get confused, but because we maintain those same patterns. The chametz won't be effectively sold until Shabbat begins, and therefore you can continue to use the chametz on Friday afternoon. However, regarding the chametz to be used for Shabbat, the best approach, which is mentioned by Rav Tzvi Pesach Frank and by the Maharam Sheik, is to separate out a small amount of chametz that you're going to use on Shabbat, to have that chametz not included in your sale. And then, whether it's Friday night challah or something else that is chametz, and Shabbat morning challah or something else that is chametz, make sure that you finish it. Any chametz that is left over is still in your possession because it wasn't considered part of the sale. And as a result, it should either be flushed down the toilet, which is the equivalent of the biur chametz and can be done on Shabbat, or put into a garbage can and have some kind of substance poured over it, like a bleach or soap, so that the chametz then becomes inedible. Ideally, the garbage can where you throw it should be off of your property as well. The Mechira will take place on Friday. The Mechira will take effect before Shabbat, Friday afternoon. And any chametz that remains in your possession because you were using it on Shabbat should be disposed of in a proper way that would qualify as biur chametz, destroying the chametz.